You see that? Do you see that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, they got him. They finally got him. If you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have already, unless you've been living up under a rock, they have finally caught Derrick Groves. Now, he was the last inmate that they was trying to catch. This man has literally been on the run for 5 months after he escaped prison from New Orleans. And they found him down there in Atlanta. They found him in Atlanta. And a lot of people like, oh, I thought he'd be out the country by now. I thought he'd be halfway across the country by now. Why is he in Atlanta? Well, one, people acting like this dude had a passport or was going to be able to obtain a passport. He wouldn't have been able to do any of that. So, the best thing that he could have done was lay low. Now, this is kind of about this is kind of about this situation, and then it kind of ain't. They had rumors out there saying that the reason he got caught is because he got into an argument with his girl, and his girl ended up calling the cops on him, and that's how he was finally found. I haven't found anything to say that that's actually what happened. The cops said that they found them through a whole bunch of investigating techniques and tips and all that other stuff. So we don't know if his girl actually did it or if that's just a rumor that people is putting out on Facebook. But I'm going to kind of use that to segue into what I'm about to talk about now. Let's just say if that was the case, right? Allegedly. Let's just say if that was the case. Why are you out here arguing with your girl and you are a felon on the run? That don't make sense. I done told y'all plenty of time. You gotta stop arguing with these bitches. All right. Ain't nothing good gonna come out of it. Absolutely nothing good gonna come out of it. Especially if you hiding from the law. You gotta think about it. And like I said, all this is allegedly, but you gotta think about it. If you on the run from the law, and not only that, you got a reward for your capture. Meaning that if somebody was to know where you are at and they turn you in, they will get some money. They'll get paid. Now, in this economy, the way this economy is going, that ain't going to be too hard of a decision for a person to make, especially if they really don't fuck with you like that. So having any type of arguments or, any type of issues with anybody, especially if you're hiding out with them, is not the best thing to do. That's all I'm trying to say. You gotta go through life, and one thing about life is you gotta pick your battles, you gotta choose your battles wisely. And sometimes you just gotta let shit go. And if you've been on the run for 5 months and the police, they didn't caught everybody else. Everybody, they was rounding them up like a video game. They caught all the rest of them. Boom, 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 boom. And you was fortunate enough to be on the run for 5 months. You don't need to be having no arguments with nobody. You need to be on your best behavior. Matter of fact, everybody needs to be your best friend. You need to be like, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Because if you let your ego get in the way when you are a felon running away from the law, this is the type of things that can happen. And now, remember, I did say allegedly because I haven't found no facts that that's actually what happened. I'm just speaking in general at this point. Yes, in this economy, people will turn you in a heartbeat. You know how many people is out here just struggling right now? And here you are worth worth lots and lots of money, and the only thing they got to do is call the anonymous hotline and give a tip and be like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you exactly where to find Derrick. He right over there, and I'm gonna tell you exactly when he gonna be there. Remember they was coming out with all those pictures where they was like, they believe he's doing a whole lot of disguises, and these are the type of disguises that we believe that he's wearing to stay low key. Thing about it is people just can't keep quiet. And you at the point where you have to trust people. So it's not a good situation to be in. But now he's going to be going back. He's definitely going to be getting a lot more time. A whole lot more time for evading the law. Evading the law for 5 years. Hold on real quick. Not 5 years, 5 months. Now let me pull this up real quick. Because I forgot exactly. Hold on. Because I believe he was locked up for murder before he escaped. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull it up. If they let me pull it up here. Boom, boom. Yes, they say he's a convicted killer. It says he's been linked to the killings of 4 people in New Orleans. And he was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder back in October of 2024. And he pleaded guilty to manslaughter in 2 separate cases. So that's what he was locked up for when he escaped. Now they also saying that the people that he took out, I heard it was some retaliation for something they did, allegedly. So who knows? But and it's funny because everybody was really rooting for this guy. Like he had garnered the attention of everybody, and everybody was hoping that he was going to be able to continue to evade law enforcement and continue to be on the run. And that's why I said people was hoping that he was all the way in a different country. Reigning womb ban. Don't ruin my zen. How you doing? But nah, he took a 7-hour he took a 7-hour trip to Atlanta. I mean, where do y'all expect him to go? His face is plastered everywhere. Everybody knows exactly what he looked like, so it ain't too many places he can go or too much that he can do. And I'm willing to bet that whatever he was doing, where he was able to stay on the run for 5 months, because 5 months is a lifetime when you escape from prison. That's a lifetime. And I guarantee you that whatever he was doing to evade law enforcement for that long, at some point, he probably switched up the program. He probably started doing stuff a little different, probably start getting a little bit lax, probably start making little mistakes that led to his capture. I'm gonna tell you one thing, he definitely need to write a book, because I bet you he probably had a great 5 months. Ain't no telling what he was doing for that 5 months. Probably was filled with coke and bitches. Coke and bitches. For 5 months straight. Probably was doing all types of drugs. And if he was staying with his girl, probably was having all types of cocaine and sex parties. Knowing that he probably was thinking to himself, you know what, I'm going to get caught sooner, at some point. So let me make sure that I enjoy these 5 months of freedom. It's very interesting. This is the type of world that we live in, people. These people's lives are our entertainment. That's what they say. Your life, everybody life is somebody entertainment. Everybody. No matter who you are, your life is entertainment to somebody else. And when you making national news like this, then it's even more entertainment. It's even more entertainment. Now, I want y'all to go ahead and let me know what y'all think about this situation. Are you upset that he wasn't out the country? Did you actually think he was going to be able to make it out the country? Are you happy that he got caught? Remember, he's locked up for murder now. So are you happy that he's off the streets? Do you feel safer now that he's no longer roaming the streets freely? Make sure you leave a like and a comment. And remember, no matter what goes on in life, people, the facts remains the same. There's no game but tie game.